Hey guys, Scott Kuru here with another daily property update. I'm going to drop a massive truth bomb on this whole negative gearing BS that's going on right now. So the ACTU, the unions, want to kill negative gearing and all benefits to property investors. Is it going to happen? Will it happen? And what's actually the motivation behind them saying this? Because the union bosses are actually back at it. They're calling for negative gearing and capital gains tax for property investors to be scrapped, or at least limited to one property per investor. And guys, this is total BS, because basically there are 2.3 million property investors here in Australia. 75% of them only have one property. So there's a very, very small percentage of people that have an investment property, and that's a very small percentage of them, again, that actually have more than one. So if they scrap this and do this, what does it even do? It does absolutely nothing. Now, in their proposal, what they're really pushing is they're actually saying in 5 years, let's end negative gearing and end capital gains tax concessions for property investors, even if they have one. Let's end it, but let's only put it on brand new property. Now, they want that because their workers and the people in the unions are in the construction industry. And if they can keep incentives on the building of new property, new infrastructure, it's going to keep their groups, their communities, their subscribers to their union fees happy, because there's going to be tax benefits for building brand new property. So that's really what is behind this. It's strengthening them, strengthening their position, and strengthening the construction industry. Now, will we actually see the death of negative gearing in this country? Well, in 2019, we actually saw the Labor government bring it to the election. They also brought it to the election before that, and actually they were smashed at the 2019 election. It looked like a clear win for them, but the big mistake they made was talking about the scrapping of negative gearing, and they turned 2.3 million property investors and another 500, 600,000 potential property investors, people that want to invest into property, against them, and they lost the election. So guys, we will not see, and we will never see, the death of negative gearing. We might see a few little changes, but again, guys, even though we've got Labor in power, we are still not going to see the death of it, because as soon as they bring it to any election, they're going to get smashed at that election. So union bosses are back at it again, calling for a one property cap on negative gearing and capital gains tax discounts. The reason, they say it's the only way young Aussies will ever own a home. Is that true, or is it just a convenient political distraction? ACTU Secretary Sally McManus just went on national TV to push a bold new policy, limit negative gearing and CGT tax breaks to just one investment property, grandfather current rules for 5 years so investors can adjust, estimated to raise $1.5 billion a year. Her quote, "Otherwise, we're just saying, too bad, young people, you're not going to be able to ever own a home." Let's be clear, this proposal is heading to the federal government's productivity roundtable later this month, and Jim Chalmers is listening. Now, Labor has a history of playing with fire. Labor took native gearing reform to the 2016 and 2019 elections and got smashed. Now they say they're not ruling anything in or out. Translation, it's back on the table, especially under pressure from 1.8 million union members. The coalition's response: you've got no mandate to touch negative gearing. What negative gearing actually is. Negative gearing doesn't mean a tax loophole. It's when rental expenses exceed rental income and you deduct the loss. That's right, the loss from your wage. It's been around for decades, and nearly half of Australian landlords use it. Is it perfect? No. Is it the cause of the affordability crisis? Not even close. There have been many studies. Check out this study that looked into it, and they actually said that the impact on property prices because of negative gearing is around that 1% mark, guys. It is not having an impact. Let's talk facts. House prices in Australia have grown 6.8 to 7% per year on average for the past 100 years. Negative gearing, no negative gearing, capital gains tax in, capital gains tax out, 7% per year. That's through wars, interest rate cycles, tax rule changes, and government after government. It's not negative gearing that's driving unaffordability. Here are the real culprits, the real criminals when it comes to unaffordability. First of all, bracket creep, where you get taxed more just for keeping up with inflation. Low productivity, meaning businesses aren't growing fast enough to pay people more. Stagnant wage growth. Your pay hasn't kept pace with house prices for 20 years. Lack of supply. Councils and red tape making building new homes a nightmare. Cutting tax incentives might win headlines, but it won't fix the real structural issues. Now, Sally McManus says too much capital is going into housing instead of productive investments. Okay, but why? Because housing has been more stable and more rewarding than most Aussie small business. Investors aren't dumb. They go where the system rewards them. If you want more capital in businesses, fix the business tax system, reduce the red tape, and make building wealth outside of housing actually viable. By the way, you want to know a group that's perfectly good at destroying a good, perfect business? That's the unions. Now, negative gearing isn't perfect, but it's not the villain. The real reason housing is unaffordable, your tax system is broken, your wages are flat, your supply is blocked. The governments love to blame investors instead of solving the real problems. Like this video if you're sick of scapegoat politics. Comment, should negative gearing be capped, or is it all smoke and mirrors? And subscribe for more truth bombs on tax, property, and building wealth in Australia.